Right, so yeah, no, I'm working on it now, Aldo. Actually, at the moment, yeah, I'm still still struggling with the RGB. So that's why all the cables are all out at the moment. I mean, once it's all working, I'll tuck them all away. But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm dealing with at the moment. So like, these should all be like the normal Lian Li RGB should automatically go to a rainbow effect. So like the Gskill RAM's doing at the moment, just slowly strobing through. But at the moment, I've got one that's green, got red, green, blue at the back there, yellow. I mean, they're all static colours. I'm going through it at the moment. I'm literally all I'm doing is just uninstalling, reinstalling, and just wiping all the Armor Crate software and just working my way through it that way. It's just an absolute absolute RGB nightmare. I mean, I've never had. I mean, I've even got an infinity fan on the top here because I had a separate. I was thinking maybe it's because these are SL fans, and the SL fans aren't advanced enough for the motherboard, because it's ARGB. Sorry, it's an addressable header. Gen 2, but you can switch the generation to 1 or 2, so that shouldn't make a blind bit of difference. So I switched it to Gen 1 to see if anything was, and yeah, no, still no. It's not playing ball. But yeah, yeah, this is the Nzxt what should we call it, the fancy dancy cooler. So you can put memes and all that sort of gifs and all that sort of stuff on there. But yeah, again, once I've got everything all working perfectly, I'll tuck all those cables neatly away. It's just getting this RGB working. It's a real pain in the butt. It's the first time, like touch wood, it's the first time I've had this issue with Lian Li fans. Other than that, it's just you plug it in and it's instant rainbow honk, and you don't have to worry about it. So that's why I said I messaged you. I'm thinking about getting some Corsair fans and just trying the Corsair fans in there. It'll give a bit more RGB as well because the actual fan itself. I mean, like with the Infinity fan, the whole blades, all the blades light up. It's just going to be a bit more cable management issues, which isn't an issue. I mean, I can get around it. It's not too much of a pain in the bum. I mean, because it's such a small form factor, it's not too much of a ball ache. But oh my god, man, it's just I've never come across this issue. So everything else is working fine. So I've had I had it running with Cyberpunk, blasted that, absolutely no issue, no thermal issue. I mean, the main thing with this case, like people will say, that you've got issues with the flow, but most people will have red hot air coming in through on the radiator because they've got the radiator at the front, and they'll have like red hot air circulating into the PC, and they'll be like exhausting it out the top and exhausting out the back. I don't do that. I always generally have a negative pressure case, which means all the fans, and it also means that all the fans on the pretty side showing in to the case when you look in, they will all be blowing out. So you have the air coming in from the bottom, going over the power supply, going over the card, and then being exhausted out. And if I show you, hold on. You can see how quickly that exhausted. So, I mean, yes, okay, the side panel's off, but it straight away was blowing out the front, the back, and the top. So, yeah, so that shouldn't be an issue. And when I had the temperatures running, when it was running Cyberpunk, it didn't get above 70C, which is perfect for the card. And like with the side panel on, I don't imagine it getting above 74C. Yeah, so I'm working on it now. Tell your cousin I'm working on it now. It's just this RGB issue. I've never come across this before with the Lian Li fans. I can only put it down to it being 13th gen motherboard and something wrong with the motherboard. I mean, worst case scenario. Well, I'm playing out in my head what I need to do. May have to just like get a larger motherboard in there, because you can put a slightly larger motherboard in there. But I think I'm just going to come across the same issue with it. Yeah, I'm just grinding at it at the moment. It's just But yeah, again, I will try some Corsair fans, because I'll try the cheaper options first without having to replace a whole motherboard. Because I mean, that'll be on me. I mean, I can use this motherboard in something else if I need to swap it. But it's a bit of a ball ache, so I'd rather try like the cheaper option. So I'll get some Corsair fans, try those, see if the Corsair fans work. If the Corsair fans work with IQ, then happy days. I'll just install the Corsair fans. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm just going through the software at the moment. It's been hours and hours and hours. Obviously, my mum's still in hospital at the moment. She's doing better. She is doing a lot better. They sorted out the clog and all that sort of stuff, and they're just giving her a lot of nutrition and stuff, because she lost a lot of weight. And my dad's doing fine. We sorted out carers for him to come in just in the evenings and stuff. I still go over there, and that's why I haven't been able to. I work on this in the evening when he's basically asleep, because then I can leave him on his own. He's not to the stage now with his dementia where he'll be wandering off and all that sort of stuff. He's okay. But yeah, this is such a pain in the arse. Such a pain in the arse. It's RGB. It will look absolutely dynamite once I get it working. But oh my days. Anyway, I'll crack on with it now. But yeah, tell your cousin, don't worry. I've sent you the specs and all that sort of stuff. None of that will change. But yeah, and you can see all the cables here as well, all nicely ready to go, all braided and all that. And you can see the cables. You'll see the cables out the back there. Once they're all tidied up, you see it will be lined up straight down there. But you can see they look all nice and sexy like. But yeah, so I am getting there. I'm just struggling with my sanity with this RGB at the moment.